Hello everyone, welcome to the English YouTuber. Today we are going to discuss all the linkers that can be used in writing. So I have bifurcated it according to the ones that you will write in introduction, in the body paragraphs, in conclusion, and so on. So make sure you watch this video until the end and also take down notes so that the next time when you're doing writing, you can include a variety of linkers in your writing. I hope you're ready. Let's begin. So, first, we will go through the various linkers that we can write in the introduction paragraph or when you're starting a particular statement. So, you can write first and foremost, or you can write firstly, to begin with, at first glance, first of all, in the first stage, like if there are lots of stages, if it's a process. One key aspect is, or you can write, the most important reason is that, or you can write, the principal reason or the prime reason is that. And the last one is, the major argument supporting my view is that. Now, if you would have noticed, after every linker, I have added a comma here. So that is very important. And why it is important to write linkers is because it brings about coherence and cohesion when you write. Coherence and cohesion is a flow. So if you write first and foremost, it is this. Secondly, it is this. So after one point, when you go to the next point, it flows beautifully. That is why it is mandatory to write linkers in your writing. So you can either take a screenshot of this or you can write it down in your notebook so that you can use these in your writing part. So these were the linkers for introduction or when you're starting a paragraph. Now you have already written the first sentence by writing the first linker. Now you want to write your second point. So when you want to add information, you can write secondly, which shows that you're writing the second point. Or in addition to this, moreover, furthermore, likewise, not only this, but your second point you can write here also contributes to. Like, for example, if it is about saving the environment. So, the first point you have written is recycling. And the second point you can write not only this, but reusing plastic also contributes to preserving the environment, like that. The next linker is also, then besides this, similarly, another valid reason is that, or the next one is additionally. So each time when you're adding a next point to your writing, make sure you add one of these linkers. I hope this is clear. So let's move forward. Again, it is imperative that you use examples if you're writing an essay so that you justify your points. So before writing the example, the invigilator will have to know that you're writing an example. So you can write, one is obviously for example. You can write for instance, to illustrate. An example of this is, or you can write to demonstrate. So these are the various words that you can write if you want to write an example. These are the example linkers. If I'm going really fast, you can pause the video, rewind and go through this again. If not, let's move forward. The next is to show cause and effect. Iske wajah se. So because we are dumping plastics everywhere on and not segregating our waste due to this or as a result. So iske wajah se, and then you can write the result. So if you are always writing because of this, so a better word for this is owing to this or consequently, or this contributes to, or this leads to. this brings about, or this results in, or this stems from. Simple words are since, hence, thus, therefore. So, therefore, or thus, or hence, we should take initiatives to help save the environment. So, an example. So we have done the cause and the effect. Now we will move to contrast. Now, whenever we are writing an essay, we always write a refute paragraph. Refute paragraph is a paragraph that contains the opposite view. So imagine I have agreed, then I also have to write a paragraph about disagree. So when you're starting your disagree paragraph or the opposite view, or imagine you have disagreed in the first paragraph, now you're going to agree. It is a contrasting view, and therefore you have to write one of these linkers. On the other hand, so if you have written in the first paragraph on the one hand, so here you can write on the other hand. Whereas, or you can write on the flip side. Alternatively, however, or despite this, while, in spite of, although, but, in contrast, on the contrary. Let me give you an example where you can write in spite of. So when you're studying body 2, you can write in spite of having so many positives, there are some pitfalls as well. Pitfalls means drawbacks, such as, and then you can start with here, such as firstly, or the major argument supporting this view is that, and then you can whenever you're writing the next point, you can again in that paragraph write one of these linkers and go on like that. So I hope the contrast linkers are clear. Okay, so we're moving to the next one, which is you are emphasizing. Now you want to emphasize and say bahut hua hai, like considerably. Okay, or considerable number of people have moved abroad, or the number of flu cases significantly rose in the year 2020 during the COVID pandemic. So anything you want to show ki bahut ho gaya, so that is going to be considerable, significant. Now significantly, remarkably will be according to the grammar, so you will have to change the grammar according to the sentence. So considerable, significant, remarkable, dramatic, predominant, major, tremendous, enormous. There was a drastic change. There was a substantial increase. Or there was a notable decline. So here you want to show that something huge has happened. So you can use these words. Now, the next linker is to show small quantity. Now, in the previous one, if you want to show a large quantity, it was that. Now, small quantity, there was a negligible increase, or minute, meager. So, these are all synonyms for small quantity. There was insignificant rise, petite. These are all to show small quantity. Now, it did not change at all. So it remained quite constant, stable, stagnant, static. Or there was a very trivial change, minor, or the change was inconsequential. So all of this shows small quantity or no change at all. So please make sure that you use these words, because it makes a huge impact in your writing. It really impresses the invigilator. It makes your writing stand out from the other students. Now, again, something that I have noted in the writing task is many students keep writing the same word increase and decrease all the time. So here are a few synonyms that you can write instead of increase and decrease. So first, increase. We can write rise. There was an upward trend. There was a surge seen in the number of investors in this particular company. There was a grow. There was a swell. It peaked. Peaked means ekdam high पहुंच गया. Skyrocketed is price इतना था of sanitizers, but during COVID it skyrocketed to this amount. It reached its all-time high. So instead of peak, you can write all-time high. It augmented. Augmented is increased. Now, if you want to write increased very fast, you can use the word proliferated. So these are the various synonyms for increase. Now let's go towards decrease. There was a fall or a downward trend, a plunge. It dropped to, or it declined. There was an all-time low. It reduced, dipped, plummeted. So I usually like the word plunge and plummeted. It's something different to what students normally write. Or it dwindled to. It really decreased to. I hope you're noting these ones, or if not, please go through them over and over again and include them in your writing. Now you want to show speed. So there was a rapid surge or quick. There was a sharp decline. There was a steady growth, or the surge was gradual, slow, sudden, unexpected, or abrupt. There was a noticeable difference, or you can write there was a considerable discrepancy. So considerable discrepancy is a large unexpected difference that is noted. So this was about speed. Now coming to the word future. Now it is in the future it would be this. So like there are a lot of predictions that we usually write in our essay, like it is predicted that in the future in the year 2060 the polar ice caps are going to melt exponentially, causing a lot of cities to flood. So it is predicted to be, or it is anticipated, it is calculated, or it is forecasted. It is calculated to be. Okay, I have repeated this again. It is likely to be. The price of petrol is likely to be higher because a reduction in fossil fuels. It is expected to be, or it would be, it is evaluated to be. So these are the terms that you can write if you're writing about the future. And the last one for concluding paragraph, when you come towards the conclusion, the starting first linker that you can use is all in all. So all in all, it can be concluded that. You can start like that, or you can write to recapitulate, means to summarize everything, or you can write in a nutshell, overall, to summarize, to wrap up, in conclusion, on the whole, finally, to sum up, or you can write in brief. So these were the conclusion linkers. I really hope that you found this video useful. Please share it among your friends, and please make sure that you use them in your writing. Always remember, no pain, no gain. So work really hard and you will definitely find success. All the very best. God bless.